is a bit ahead of their friendly match against Chad. Yes, it's news tonight. Welcome once again. My name is Michael Jordan Lokomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni joins in for sign language interpretation. The NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, together with First Lady Janet Museveni, this Wednesday presented their manifesto to the people of Mitoma. Museveni pledged to complete the construction of the electric fence around Queen Elizabeth National Park to prevent wild animals from destroying gardens. He also reiterated his plan to establish an industrial park for the Greater Bushenyi region. We have details.
The NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni alongside the First Lady Janet Museveni has concluded campaigns in Ankole sub-region with the rallies in Mitoma and Rubirizi. In Mitoma, Museveni addressed a mega rally at Chirambi Ruhinda marketplace where he was welcomed by thousands of NRM supporters. President Museveni opened his speech by emphasizing that Uganda remains peaceful because the government has built strong institutions including the army, police, prisons and others.
Cyatubasa no kuombeka amahe ga Uganda yona na polisi ya Uganda yona na prisons ya Uganda yona na civil service na judiciary manu muhurande banjora bantwaha abari mbitongo rebi bya Uganda nibarwo mbyanga byona bya Uganda. So ekyo cyatubasa kureta obusinge.
He pledged to complete the electric fence around Queen Elizabeth National Park to protect communities from wildlife encroachment.
Hati arebi nyinaha enyamesho kubonera na cyandikaha ntuza kureba ngo babateraho waya y'amashanyarazi kuzubera enyamesho kubonera.
The candidate also promised to establish an industrial park for the Greater Bushenyi region, of which Mitoma is part.
Hati industrial hub ukuyambira abana aba naza kuzongeramu ngire mwe ingite Bushenyi Greater Bushenyi egire yayo. Rero nezi nazo nzongeremo abakatu industrial hub 19 mbona za kuzongera zibe 38 twashome sabana bengi.
First Lady Janet Museveni praised the president for steering Uganda into a peaceful nation.
Ukwatirire president weitu na NRM government emyaka yona mwebase kwebemberi hangeri ngokujeno tafire abanagamba entare zabeire zirumu mukubanza ebyo byone byabeire birumu bijagaraza cyaro hanga akwatize government eji.
She urged the Mitoma residents to vote for NRM flag bearers to ensure continued peace and stability.
Hereza matsiko region yona nicho Uganda hateru gukora. Nehereza matsiko region yona nicho mkurira ba refugees abejiraha omahanga gateine businge Uganda nebahereza matsiko kandi bahereza ubuhungiro mbwenu mutebo.
Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa and Minister Kahinda Otafire appealed to the President to support Mitoma farmers with fertilizers.
Imwe bana mwe babiri mujya Museveni agende tumukumanya kwigangwe mutuzo mugongo tubeje soko bahigengwe.
Muzeyi na mama nenda kubagambira kugira ngo bikubyabireho twaye kwatamu itwe nk'abana bato bo muri Mitoma twatayira jeno tafire.
Residents commended the president for wealth creation programs such as Emioga, the Paris Development Initiative, and the Jwakali program.
Program ya Jwakali ekatuya hansi yatembya yatomwanya akuba ekatwa ebintu ebi ekatwa amasafari ashatu mahango abo kubitwe echo kubanza itwitwe twine catering eitkweta nyamiko tuyambane catering group.
The NRM presidential candidate now heads to the Rwenzori sub-region with rallies in Kasese and Bunyangabu districts. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Mitoma.
The president also campaigned in Rubirizi district, and our reporter Robert Onyango has it in detail.
For close to 7 days, the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has been traversing Ankole sub-region, popularizing his party manifesto. In a tour which has taken him to all the 12 districts of Ankole, Museveni has concluded the campaign rally from Rubirizi district. The Wednesday 3rd December rally has been held at Chenzaza grounds in Rubirizi district.
We welcome you to Rubirizi district, where we shall have our last rally for Ankole sub-region. Tomorrow we are starting Rwenzori, and we thank you so much for the effort you have put to educate Ugandans in all the regions you have been to. President Museveni nimwe mmanyengu mujerachi nimwe mbanmweterera karuru twe Museveni oye.
NRM party is running its campaigns by fronting 7 key points in what has been described as qualitative achievements scored under the 40 years of its rule.
Imwe abarubirizi murehe na Kongo numanye bya Kongo numbimanya kandi murebe impungi zirahari ya cyaka Kamwenge Rwamwanja mbere sezene businge tekubasa kugira iki yakora.
In a nutshell, the 2026-2031 campaign trail is targeting to protect the scorecards.
Nabo icyo nyuni poroko okwehurira kumanya ngo NRM ikumira businge mu Uganda myaka 20.
First Lady Jane Kataha Museveni has accompanied the president in Rubirizi district.
Haza benje omuyimwe tumukumanya ihangeri ahirigire mbwenu hainobere natugambira on one of these rallies nguhe n'abasigaza bene bajya ngune twenda turebe urutaro movement nayo katukabi mbwenu nyenda kubagambira ngo byone bitukugamba n'entunguka n'ubweiga nebyo no kushomaje n'amarwariro marungi n'enguto nungi na byone biturukugamba byona nibyombeka hamusingi gosingi.
Rubirizi is a 15-year-old district with 11 sub-counties and a population of more than 16,000 residents.
Abantu aba nibakushaba rugutongo tere korasi.
The First Lady re-emphasized the need to vote back NRM into power for a better and safe continuity.
Nimba mwino rushunanizwa abantu bihangeri kwereza foundation obusingi obwo n'obururu bwanyu obururu obwo nuwo burukureta amani agarukwija kuhereza election process okurabye mu government ya NRM ekatoreka ngu abantu ba Uganda nibo berondeire ombantu bona bakora campaign ngu berondeire NRM ngwegumize muno no kwebembera ihanga ryeitu ngusinge bukagumaho.
However, regarding the education reports read out by the president to the public, Rubirizi voters objected some of the details.
Chwamba bariyo bariombeka nko barukugira chairman ja
Your Excellency Chwamba High School eryo muri Chwamba kane ya government.
Rohatu mwagira ngo yes pakatware ryo muntu konkandisera.
In the healthcare system, President Museveni has promised more improvements in the coming term of his presidency.
Mbwene Center 4 tujja kugihindura district hospital.
Rubirizi rally ends candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's Ankole sub-region tour. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Over the years, government has implemented programs that aim at reducing poverty, empowering the youth and women, and improving infrastructure. Key initiatives include the parish development model designed to stimulate local economies, the youth livelihood program supporting young people, the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, and the Myoga, among others. As he concluded his campaign trail in Mitoma and Rubirizi districts, President Museveni highlighted the major achievements of the NRM government and outlined plans for the next 5 years if re-elected. Let's have a look at government's development scorecard in Rubirizi.
Rubirizi district has 11 sub-counties, town councils, 53 parishes and 293 villages with a population of 168,211 according to the 2024 census report. According to the parish development model for Rubirizi district, the district has cumulatively received 18.97 billion. Out of this, 16.32 billion, representing 68.03%, has been disbursed to 16,433 beneficiary households. Rubirizi has a total of 36,117 households. Out of these, 16,433, representing 45.5%, have already received PDM funds. According to the Emyoga program, the district has a total of 36 Emyoga circles with 11,455 members. Government has so far disbursed a total of 1.36 billion. When you look at the education sector in Rubirizi district, the district has 58 government primary schools and 89 private primary schools, 10 government secondary schools and 14 private secondary schools. Breaking down the health sector, out of the 11 sub-counties in Rubirizi, 1 has a health center 4, 10 have health center 3s. All the sub-counties have health center 3 level health facilities and above. In regards to the water sector in the district, out of the 293 rural villages, 208 have access to a safe water source, representing an average coverage of 71%. On the energy sector, Rubirizi district is now connected to the national grid, easing access to the electricity supply. The following is planned in the next Kisanja. The government will connect electricity to Rototo sub-county, complete the 3 seed secondary schools in the district, leaving no sub-county without a government secondary school, construction of a new piped water system to improve safe water accessibility.
The Secretary General of the NRM, Richard Todwang, has lauded Ankole sub-region for the overwhelming support extended towards the party. Todwang's appreciation comes on the heat of presidential, parliamentary and local government campaigns where ground support shows NRM is still in the lead, including Ankole sub-region. This is said during President Museveni's last rally in Ankole sub-region in Rubirizi district, where the area leaders assured the party of their support.
Had it not been for the intervention of the NRM government, Rubirizi district would have suffered attacks from the ADF. This is one of the many other reasons leaders and locals here are proclaiming support for the ruling party.
When the rebels of ADF tried to come here, he made sure that they did not cross from the border to Bunyaruguru. So the people are forever grateful because of the peace and security.
The peace has enabled us to transact business, to live peacefully in our family. We have benefited benefited from government funds, to name it Emyoga, PDM.
With peace and development in place, voting against the NRM does not appear on their agenda.
What he has been promising us, he has been fulfilling. So with NRM manifesto, he has been doing his best to make sure that we are satisfied. All my sub-counties have got Health Center 3s. Now we are getting Health Center 4. This road we have passed from the main road to Buhindaji is now ready. We have put it in NDP 4, is ready to tarmac it. It has benefited because it has many hotels, has many crater lakes, and all these attract tourists. And when tourists come here, they also bring money here.
This is why more leaders from Ankole sub-region and beyond are joining Rubirizi to support the ruling party.
The roads are being constructed, and even when you look at the border connectivity from east, north, west, south, all the roads, at least most of them have been connecting. Those that are not yet connected, that's why he's emphasizing on us making money so that the taxes can increase. And once the taxes increase, definitely other roads will be constructed.
Rubirizi district has generated many jobs for youth and tourism.
And we are grateful for the turn-up and the support we have seen in all the rallies we have been addressing in Ankole sub-region and the Chigezi sub-region. But this has been all over the country. We are overwhelmed with the number of support and the quality of support.
With such overwhelming support, nothing less than victory awaits the NRM come January 15th, 2026.
I want to call upon the people of Western Uganda, rally behind His Excellency President Museveni, vote for him, and let's give him enough votes to ensure that he continues, driving this country into the next generation.
As we cross to Rwenzori sub-region, we call upon everybody in Ankole, Chigezi, and all over Uganda where we have been. On the 15th of January, please go and express this in the ballot box.
Protecting the gains remains the NRM campaign message. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate, General Mugisha Muntu, has begun his campaigns in the West Nile sub-region, covering Adjumani and Moyo districts. The rising number of refugees, poverty, and poor service delivery remain the major challenges affecting the two districts.
If you want to follow people, you must focus where we are the majority. Youth, women are 52%. Also, too, you focus on the areas of agriculture where they are. That's why we focus a lot on agriculture. Because in agriculture, there are 70% of the population is in either fishing or crop husbandry or animal husbandry.
Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate General Mugisha Muntu has launched his campaigns in West Nile sub-region, addressing supporters in Zaipi, Pakere, Adjumani Town Council, and Moyo district.
How can you be president of a country like this and people are still poor with the riches we have as a country? Because until you get Sunday, all those problems are going to continue. Until you get leaders who are good, who are disciplined, who are not corrupt, so that they can turn around this situation. And it doesn't have to be me, even if it is someone else, but who is honest, who is incorruptible, who is fair-minded, who is even-handed, they can do the same thing. But now I am presenting myself because I think I am the best in terms of those kinds of qualities.
In Zaipi, residents appealed for the construction of the crucial Laropi Bridge, which links Adjumani and Moyo, and for government university to improve development.
Government programs, most times if it's going on, but for us we are missing here, we don't have that chance of getting government programs is what we are facing here. We don't know whether it's because of the party or what is what we are facing here.
Okay. The youth, we are facing a lot of problems. Like, take a look at me personally. I'm someone who is educated, I went to school, but up to now, there is no job, no employment opportunity. I was born in this regime. Up to now, I'm married, I have children.
They also asked for employment opportunities through youth skilling hubs. While addressing supporters, General Mugisha Muntu focused on transformation and development.
As long as you have not achieved what you desire to achieve, you keep fighting. Whether it is in leadership, whether it is money, whether it is whatever other area of endeavor, you don't give up.
In Adjumani, where the largest refugee population resides, communities say Uganda's open-door refugee policy has strained service delivery.
But for you to relocate, do it in a manner that is convincing to others that they are not simply being thrown off land and then abandoned. Once you go and get an area which is not heavily populated, you go and establish schools. You build first, build amenities, schools and health centers and roads. Then you can shift people, give them materials for building themselves, shelter.
Muntu also highlighted the lack of adequate skills development opportunities, linking it to rising crimes. He promised collaborative efforts to address these issues and ensure sustainable development. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Business came to a standstill as members of the Patriotic League of Uganda alongside NRM supporters marched through streets of Fort Portal City to boost mobilization for President Yoweri Museveni and all NRM flag bearers in Rwenzori sub-region. They chanted Museveni Oye, NRM Oye as they moved through the city up to Boma grounds where they held a rally that attracted thousands of supporters.
Patriotic League of Uganda coordinator Toro Sub-Region Henry Mutegeki Basaliza has said that mobilization in preparation for hosting President Museveni is in high gear.
We saw it prudent that to have this planning rally, and we commissioned the people to go and mobilize in villages to make sure we get big numbers to welcome His Excellency the President.
Fort Portal Tourism City NRM chairperson Claire Kobgabe Docas uploaded the joint mobilization, saying it will ensure NRM's victory.
The partnership between PLU and NRM is not accidental. It is born out of a shared belief in peace and stability, economy and transformation.
Senior Presidential Advisor on Mobilization, Mishak Kawamala, reminded the public about government programs aimed at reducing household poverty.
The gains can be seen. The first one is security. The President has been mentioning it is security. Without security, you can't develop. Without security, you can't even work, you can't move, you can't own even wealth without security. So security has been a score mark for NRM and His Excellency the President. Then socio-economic transformation is to work. You have seen he has introduced industrial hubs, industrial centers, parks. People are working, people are having what to do to get money. People are growing richer than it was in the past.
President Museveni begins his campaign trail in Toro Sub-Region tomorrow with rallies in Bunyangabu before moving to Bundibujo and in Toroko. Rebecca Nantongo, Moses Muthabali, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has appointed Brigadier General Richard Tukachungurwa to lead the reconstituted General Court Martial following a controversial restructuring of the military court. The reconstitution comes after a landmark Supreme Court ruling on the 31st of January 2025, which declared that military courts lack judicial competence to try civilians. Brigadier Tukachungurwa was formally decorated and is expected to take full charge of the General Court Martial, overseeing military trials, including high-profile cases with national security implications. His appointment comes amid increased scrutiny of the UPDF's handling of civilian cases, with observers emphasizing the need to respect the Supreme Court ruling to maintain public trust in Uganda's judicial system. Newly appointed members of the court-martial include Brigadier General Richard Tukachungurwa as chairman and head of the court, Colonel Raphael Mujisha, judge, advocate, Colonel Silas Kamanda Mutunji, defense lawyer, Colonel Fred Kangwamu, lead prosecutor, Colonel Aisha Patra, lead prosecutor. In addition, the reconstituted court includes 3 new prosecutors and 12 reserve members, completing the new leadership team. The appointments were communicated by President Museveni in a letter addressed to the Judicial Service Commission, formalizing the new structure of Uganda's highest military judicial body.
To the CDF, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, received by the Chairperson, Judicial Service Commission, appointment of the head and members of the General Court Martial, Chairpersons of Division and Unit Court Martials of Uganda, in accordance with Section 192, 193 and 195 of the UPDF Act as amended, and acting on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission, I have appointed persons below as head and members of the General Court Martial and Chairperson of Division and Unit Court Martials respectively. Head of the General Court Martial, Brigadier General Tukachingura Richard. Members of the General Court Martial, Colonel Wankadia Simon Tusa, Colonel Asha Patra, Colonel Kangwamu Frederick, Colonel Mugisha Raphael, Lieutenant Colonel Igambi Muhammadia Nasa, Major Amodoy Samuel Moses, Major Arehaihi Emmanuel, Major Nyombi Abakar, Major Chamtai Dennis. Chairpersons, Division Court Martials, Lieutenant Colonel Drani Epalu David, 4th Division, Lieutenant Colonel Mulianti Yakubu Hassan, 1 Special Forces Group, letter signed by President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta and Commander-in-Chief of Uganda's Armed Forces.
The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, has condemned the rising cases of electoral violence that have marred the ongoing campaign season, with some candidates unable to access parts of the country freely. Delivering his message at the Electoral Commission headquarters in the industrial area, Byabakama met representatives of presidential candidates and security agencies to discuss the escalating incidents.
Over the past 2 weeks, security agencies have been forced to disperse the supporters of rival camps, leading to several chaotic scenes and, in some instances, injuries among citizens. The situation compelled some candidates to petition the Electoral Commission, questioning why their supporters are being targeted and treated unfairly. Justice Byabakama has thereby held a meeting with the agents of presidential candidates, together with the representatives of security agencies. Byabakama expressed concern over the violence witnessed in recent days and urged both the candidates and their supporters to adhere to the Commission's guidelines.
The Commission is deeply concerned by the episodes of violent confrontation that we have witnessed so far.
He also extended sympathies to those who have lost loved ones or suffered injuries as a result of the clashes.
The other day, a life was lost. People were injured, which is very unfortunate. Long before we even conducted nominations for presidential candidates and even other candidates, one message has been consistent by the Commission. Please, let us observe law and order.
After the closed-door session, which lasted for more than 5 hours, officials from the Electoral Commission, security agencies, and representatives of political parties, including NRM, NUP, and FDC, NPP, among others, developed a joint communique.
This is the 3rd meeting taking place since the election started. There's many things, but in brief, we requested the Electoral Commission to be in charge of this election. Anybody who sees what is happening may think that we are in a war zone, and yet an election should be peaceful, it should be free, there should be free expression of the people. Of course, the police was talking about the issue of processions and claiming that they are illegal.
And going forward, we agree that people should hold their rallies at the venues. We should avoid processions which cover all the roads and makes other road users unable to use the road.
One of the things that ANT has raised is on Section 30, Presidential Act, Section 31, subsection 4, which allows a voter or a citizen of Uganda that after voting you can stand or sit 20 meters away from the polling station.
The non-procession is very clear, and we have agreed that the candidates should really try to move from their points of residence and go to the venue where they find their supporters. What we don't allow as police is to allow people to surge on the middle of the road and paralyze traffic, because we have the mandate of keeping law and order and enforcing the law. So the candidate can go through, he can wave, but not calling people to move with him.
The commission outlined the key issues discussed during the engagement.
So we have, the parties have agreed that all of us have a role to play in ensuring that we don't see a repeat of what happened in Kayunga the other day, where one life was lost, and the other things that we have been seeing around.
During the same meeting, Justice Byabakama highlighted the Commission's preparedness for the 2026 general elections. 1. The Commission has procured more than 100,000 biometric devices for use during voting. 2. Polling stations have increased from 35,600 in the previous election to 50,359 for 2026. 3. Each polling station will now accommodate a maximum of 600 voters to ease biometric verification. 4. The Commission is conducting nationwide testing of the biometric system. 5. Voter education in new technology is underway. 6. At least 50,000 ICT specialists will be recruited to support electoral operations. 7. Preparations for finalizing the voter register are in advanced stages. The Electoral Commission has cautioned the candidates against exceeding the officially allocated campaign time. Amwa Evanjuko and Annette Sana for UBC.
National Unity Platform President and 2026 Presidential Flag Bearer Robert Kyagulanyi has promised the people of Amolata and Dokolo that if elected president, he will ensure the reconstruction of all major roads in the area. He also pledged to guarantee access to affordable electricity and clean water for every household, alongside the establishment of modern markets, free education, schools, and well-equipped health facilities. He urged Ugandans to reject tribal discrimination and embrace unity for national progress.
National Unity Platform supporters in Nakasongola gathered near the motel where Kyagulanyi spent the night, celebrating his presence with overwhelming excitement. The new parliamentary flag bearer for Nakasongola, Ivan Cheyune, highlighted the district's major challenges, including poor roads, inadequate schools, lack of functional health facilities, and other gaps in service delivery.
We don't have a functioning school. We don't have a functioning clean water system. We don't have a hospital. We don't have pure roads. Look, apart from the highway that goes to Gulu, and apart from this road that goes to the barracks, there is no tarmac road in Nakasongola. So we are all waiting to see a new president that is accountable. We want to see a president that can create jobs for these people. If these people are working, they will not have gathered here.
As Kyagulanyi proceeded to Amolata and Dokolo, supporters eagerly lined the roads, singing, cheering, and following his convoy. At Zezenga landing site, he was received by large crowds before boarding MV Choga to continue his journey across the lake. He arrived at Namasera landing site to yet another massive welcome, with residents escorting him all the way into town. In both Dokolo and Amolata, Kyagulanyi reiterated his pledge to build modern roads, schools, offering free education and well-equipped health facilities.
In the new Uganda, we are going to fix all these roads. It is going to be in the new Uganda, all our young people are going to get employment because that in the new Uganda, there will be no tribalism.
After touring the districts through heavy dust and impassable roads, Kyagulanyi appealed to citizens to vote for him on January 15th, saying his government would provide better services for all Ugandans.
We are going to choose whether we stay in the old Uganda or we go to Uganda. I ask all of you to make a decision so that we bring a new change in Uganda.
Kyagulanyi emphasized unity, urging Ugandans to avoid tribal discrimination and to work together towards achieving NOP's vision for the country.
Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has assured the people of Ruchiga district that government has begun implementing a water for production master plan aimed at improving household incomes and supporting communities that vacated wetlands for environmental conservation. Nabanja says that the intervention follows a directive from President Museveni, who instructed government to provide alternative sources of livelihood to affected families.
When President Museveni visited Ruchiga district during his recent campaign trail, he directed government to formulate a comprehensive master plan to supply gravitational water for production to all households in the area. It's against this background that the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja convened a high-level meeting, bringing together leaders from village level to members of parliament at Imparo district headquarters to discuss strategies aimed at improving service delivery. Nabanja revealed that, following the President's directive, teams from the Ministry of Water and Environment and the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries have already pitched camp in the district to commence the work.
irrigation system.
She commended the people of Ruchiga for their unwavering support to President Museveni and the NRM government, urging them to continue safeguarding the gains registered so far.
The NRM government will expand electricity to the remaining 2 sub-counties and town councils of Bukinda and Imparo. And that's why the government of Uganda is committed to implementing more programs and projects to further improve service delivery in the Ruchiga district.
The State Minister for Agriculture, Fred Bino Chakulaga, and the State Minister for Environment, Beatrice Anywa, confirmed that technical work on the master plan is already underway.
Museveni alagira nti tuteekewo enteekateeka sinziku ey'okufukiira ebirime mu Ruchiga yonna, naye master plan gye tugenda okukola ya Ruchiga district yonna era y'abantu mwenna, kubanga ekitundu kino nga bwe muwulidde mukuumye nnyo obutonde.
Where some people have already benefited from fish ponds, goats, and then other domestic animals. But the biggest thing which we have now come, because it started a small family, but now we want the whole sub-county, the whole area, to have an irrigation project.
Meanwhile, leaders from Ruchiga district presented to the Prime Minister a list of other urgent needs requiring government attention. Rebecca Nantongo for UBC News.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break.
Way to Morocco with
Uganda Cranes and MTN. Simply buy a Gaga bundle by dialing *100*0# and stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to Morocco. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Together, our fire is unstoppable. Fire! MTN. Terms and conditions apply. MTN Uganda is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of AFCON 2025.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert. Global Paint, a reliable product.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. The National Resistance Movement is intensifying grassroots mobilization ahead of the 2026 elections. Party Director for Mobilization, Rose Seninde, has met NRM leaders and flag bearers from Wakiso District to refine strategies under President Museveni's newly launched village-based mobilization model.
President Yoweri Museveni's initiative of a village-based mobilization model, unveiled recently in Busoga, places campaign responsibility on the smallest political unit, the village.
We have come to meet the leaders of Wakiso district that make all the 8 constituencies of Wakiso, because we started our program of the parish mobilization program. We are planning, or we have planned, to go village by village, and these are the people who are going to go to the villages to meet our foot soldiers. So we have the 63 leaders who are going to be our foot soldiers, and so these are the people who are taking our message.
Under this approach, NRM leaders are expected to move household to household, directly rallying support from the grassroots.
Taking the president's message, showing them why we need to vote for NRM and how we need to carry out our campaign right from the village, and how we need to win this election. We want to thank the people of Uganda, because wherever the president has gone, people have shown a lot of enthusiasm to give him the votes. People have welcomed him in big numbers. We want to thank the people, more so the people of the northern region, the people of Karamoja, the people of the eastern region, the people of the western region where he's about to complete.
Dr. Seninde convened coordinators, flag bearers and district leaders at Rockstone Gardens to harmonize plans for the 2026 campaign cycle. Seninde reminded leaders that the previous elections exposed gaps. She urged young people to maintain peaceful conduct during campaigns and dismissed criticism of police crowd control measures, arguing that security agencies act to keep communities safe.
We are appealing to the people who are coming as independents to remember that there is no way we should lie ourselves that we love the party if we cannot appreciate the party principles. Our principle is that we go through a primary election and who wins is the flag bearer. So let's support our flag bearers, because every time we divide ourselves, we should not forget that we cause conflicts and we fight.
Meanwhile, Honorable Mike Sebaru briefed leaders on key elements of the President's manifesto that should guide mobilization efforts.
And the leaders at LC1 are the ones who are going to be in charge of the electoral process. They have been encouraged to look for 7 or 10 people so that they do have a multiplier effect in terms of looking for the vote. So this time around, we are inspiring, we are motivating, we are encouraging, and we are empowering the grassroots-based leaders.
Local leaders later presented issues they hope President Museveni will address during his upcoming visit to Wakiso. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has urged Ugandans to join him in the ongoing effort to prevent conditions and situations that continue to cause disabilities among citizens. In a message delivered by Prime Minister Robert Nabanja during the national celebrations of the International Day for Persons with Disabilities at the National Teachers College in Mubende, the President appealed to motorists to avoid reckless driving, especially during the festive season, to curb accidents that claim lives and leave many permanently disabled.
According to the National Population Census of 2024, the people with disabilities in Uganda constitute about 6 million people. This, according to the fraternity, is a number that cannot be ignored. The people with disabilities in Uganda today join the rest of the world to commemorate the World Disability Day held at the National Teachers College in Mubende. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robert Nabanja, who represented the President, launched the National Disability Anthem, which from now onwards be sung at all disability functions.
On behalf of the President of the Republic of Uganda, allow me to launch the anthem for persons with disabilities.
On arrival, the Premier, who is also the Kakumiro Woman Member of Parliament, inspected stores of products made by the people with disabilities, where she also gave out wheelchairs to people with disabilities.
I'm handing over to Mr. Obemu Charles from Nebi.
Manyanze Kakere Nasulu, Mbera Chiwatule, Dimusanyufu nnyo nga Prime Minister ampadde akagali.
The State Minister in charge of Disability Affairs, Grace Asamo, assured the President of total support from the disability movement in the forthcoming general elections.
The fatality of representatives for disabilities, but 90.5 are NRM. We can't do anything without this government. It's only President Museveni who has picked us from the cantons.
The chairperson of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, Yona Waswa, thanked government for the economic empowerment extended to the people with disabilities.
Various economic empowerment programs that are aimed at enhancing people's income and improving their livelihoods. This include PDM, where we have 10% earmarked. We also have a Myoga Circle.
However, they say people with disabilities still have a number of challenges.
Right, Honorable Prime Minister, most of the existing programs are disseminated in formats that are not accessible to persons with disabilities.
Disabilities are still seen as a punishment from God because of doing something evil during pregnancy. For instance, in Southeast Africa, epilepsy is still misinterpreted to mean a person being possessed with evil spirits.
In a message delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robert Nabanja, Museveni called on Ugandans to join him in the fight against diseases and causes leading to disabilities.
I want you to join me in a war to achieve 100% in my next term in office. That is 2026-2031. So that we can eradicate disabling conditions that are preventable through prenatal and postnatal care. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join me in this war to achieve 100%.
Museveni also said scientists have informed him of some chronic diseases causing permanent disability that they would require extensive research so that a solution can be found to prevent them from causing disabilities.
Our scientists have revealed that some of the disabilities that may not be preventable include neurological conditions that affect the brain, such as autism, intellectual disability, cerebral palsy, among others. We should emphasize good diet as we wait for our scientists and disability experts to tell us how to handle the emerging disability conditions.
The president also cautioned drivers to avoid overspeeding on roads, especially in the coming festive season, so that we can reduce on the number of accidents leading to disabilities.
We need all of you alive. We can avoid most of the road and home accidents.
The Prime Minister handed over damage checks of over 2 billion shillings as grants to people with disabilities in the Central Region and 481 million shillings to people with disabilities in Greater Mubende districts.
The recognition of outstanding disability inclusion.
In a continued effort to strengthen the protection of human rights within Uganda's courts, judicial officers from the Western region have undergone a special training organized by the Judicial Training Institute. The session aimed at equipping officers with practical skills and knowledge to apply human rights principles in their daily decisions and courtroom procedures. Facilitators emphasized that judicial officers carry not only a constitutional mandate but also a moral and a spiritual responsibility to uphold justice, fairness. Facilitators emphasized that judicial officers carry not only a constitutional mandate but also a moral and spiritual responsibility to uphold justice, fairness, and the dignity of every person who comes before the court.
But also foster reconciliation among parties.
Is important. A third element that is important at the commencement of mediation is explaining the role of lawyers. Keep it in your mind that lawyers, parties come to our courts with their lawyers. They have confidence in the lawyers that they bring to our courts. You therefore should not disregard lawyers that are involved in mediation.
Honorable Justice Professor Andrew Kauka, the Executive Director, Judicial Training Institute, highlighted the significance of that training, noting that the magistrates and lawyers must be thoroughly familiar with the amended rules to ensure timely, credible, and effective adjudication of electoral disputes.
We've been training judicial officers in the country about the new rules on case management. So basically, that is what this training is about. So all this is intended to shorten the timelines for case disposal. So this training is largely to see to it that we have case disposal standards that are people-centered.
In attendance was Justice Christopher Izama Madrama, who reiterated the adoption of mediation and other alternative dispute resolution mechanisms to enable quick, peaceful, and mutually acceptable resolution of cases.
Administration of justice in Uganda has grappled with dual challenges of delay and procedural inefficiency. The adversarial nature of the litigation system, while robust in protecting rights of litigants to present their case, has been susceptible to abuse through dilatory tactics, trial by ambush. I'm glad Justice Granita is here. She understands what trial by ambush means, and the unrestricted proliferation of interlocutory applications.
The training, organized by the Judicial Training Institute and conducted by different experienced facilitators, was attended by judicial officers from different parts of the country, including lawyers.
Students under the National Secretariat for Patriotism, guided by Commissioner Helen Seku, have come together to support 17-year-old Maria Naiga, a student at Kira Secondary School who unexpectedly found herself as the head of her household after the death of her mother. Maria, whose father's whereabouts remain unknown, was left caring for 4 younger children, her siblings.
Though still a student herself, 17-year-old Maria Naiga, a student at Chira Secondary School, has become the sole provider and caretaker of her home. This follows the death of her mother and subsequent vanishing of her father.
Naiga Maria, I'm a student of prayer essays. When the time when I lost my mama, I felt like of getting school fees, it wasn't easy. Being comforted at home wasn't easy. Like getting food, it wasn't easy. So like as if like something you can get, tomorrow you can't get, and at home sometimes you're disturbed by the people like are there. They disturb you. They say today you don't I'm going to eat food because I don't have money. Something like that. And at school, sometimes they don't provide you with money for what? For upkeep. So it's like that. The only thing that I want people to help me is about the school fees, so that I should study hard and go higher.
Her situation raised painful questions about also ignited a powerful wave of compassion from her school community.
And today, we have come together as the patriots of Shira Secondary School, guided by the leadership of the State House, by the leadership of the National Secretariat for Patriotism, Co-State House, and Commissioner Helen Seku. And we are here to give hand to our dear friend, Maria, who lost her mother, and she's now holding the responsibility of taking care of her siblings, Chloe and Ethan. Our visit here is a practical vision of values. Honorable Helen Seku emphasizes like cooperation, service, responsibility, and unity under the guidance of the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Maria's experience represents a growing but often silent struggle faced by young people who unexpectedly become caretakers at home. A teenager with no stable income cannot meet all the daily needs of a family: food, clothing, school requirements, utilities, and medical expenses.
We want to thank the Secretariat for National Patriotism. Basically, our leader, Commissioner Seku Helen, for the wonderful work is doing in the younger generation, so-called the youth. We are so grateful that the message you want us to deliver through patriotism is being felt on the ground, and we are here as Kira Patriotic Group in the community to give a hand and show a kind of love to our beloved sister in the senior 3 called Maria. She lost her dear mother, and we thought twice that we need to be with her so that she feels that she's still within the community. God still loves her.
Caring for children at a young age has caused distress, loneliness, and emotional exhaustion. Without strong support, the child parent is easily overwhelmed.
And we are here to talk to her, at least to say sorry to her, because she lost a mother and she's with a brother and she's the one helping him. Therefore, I want to thank Madam Helen Seku, who has managed at least to introduce or to be there for us.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Ministry of Health, in partnership with the United States government, has launched the Ministry of Health's Supra Hub, a tele-monitoring and digital learning platform designed to strengthen continuous training and capacity building for health workers across the country. Representing the Permanent Secretary, Director General of Health Services, Dr. Charles Olaru, emphasized that the new hub will enhance rapid dissemination of outbreak information, upgrade clinical skills. Representing the Permanent Secretary, Director General of Health Services, Dr. Charles Olaru, emphasized that the new hub will enhance rapid dissemination of outbreak information, upgrade clinical skills, and bridge knowledge gaps across the health workforce nationwide.
The Ministry of Health Supra Hub project that has lasted for the past 5 years under the U.S. government funding has led to the establishment of more than 450 telementoring sites across the country equipped with telementoring equipments to expand the continuous in-service training for health workers. The Ministry of Health Supra Hub will coordinate these sites and support regional hubs in training, supervision, and information sharing.
Also, we need to be able to continue definitely building capacity. We need to be able to do that. But you know, the capacity for virtual learning is also that we need to see how the health workers develop appetite for it. Because sometimes, and so we need to be able to see what are the motivators of people. And I'm happy that we have linked it to the continuous professional education. So this is contributes to our continuous professional education. So we need to be able to look at that.
While launching the platform, the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, William Pope, commended the Ugandan government for embracing technological innovations that strengthen health systems and improve workforce skills.
As we look forward in the case of HIV, toward 2030 and the goal of ending HIV as an epidemic and a public health threat, we know that these types of innovations through telementoring are more critical than ever. And we also know that Uganda is very well positioned to use this platform to advance key priorities, including integration of health services, in the case of HIV, rolling out prevention treatments like lenacapavir, improving the quality of care for tuberculosis and malaria, mentoring health workers, and so much more.
Officials say the new digital model will significantly reduce government expenditure on physical workshops and improve access to timely training for health workers.
Our focus is to reduce skills gap across clinical, laboratory, emergency, and public health domains, covering health promotion, clinical care, treatment, palliation, and rehabilitation. Through telementoring, the Supra Hub will help systematically address these gaps by connecting frontline health workers with experts.
The Ministry of Health Supra Hub marks a major shift toward digital health training, and officials say it will enhance skills, cut training costs, and improve emergency response as nationwide implementation begins.
Your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Simply buy a Gaga bundle by dialing *100 *0# and stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to Morocco. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Together, our fire is unstoppable. Fire! MTN. Terms and conditions apply. MTN Uganda is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Kabogozi, where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namagund to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
Yakabande pakabanda. You can register for NSSF. I'll contribute to your Simade life. Never deep down in the Barada. Make NSSF payments. No hala okubeka langala. NSSF sure is not far. But this tomorrow kuhika gotido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account, Jubira. NSSF, a better life.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
In Uganda's oil and gas journey, the citizens and communities are partners in progress. Across the country, lives are being transformed through improved infrastructure, access to services, and new opportunities for growth. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda ensures that the oil and gas developments are inclusive. The livelihoods of households directly affected by acquisition of land for project activities have been improved through targeted resettlement, compensation, and livelihood restoration programs. Farmers are receiving support to enhance productivity, food security, and commercialize agriculture. Youth are gaining skills that open doors to employment and entrepreneurship. Women are empowered through financial inclusion and community leadership initiatives that strengthen the social fabric of our nation. Education, health, clean water, and road upgrade projects are uplifting families and building resilience in areas hosting the oil and gas activities. Through collaboration with community leaders, civil society, and development partners, Uganda is building a future of shared prosperity. At the heart of regulating these developments for the last 10 years stands the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, with a mission of creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
In business, the Uganda High Commission in Pretoria has launched the Southern Africa Tourism Roadshow in Johannesburg, marking the start of a week-long series of engagements aimed at promoting Uganda and strengthening tourism cooperation, trade partnerships, and regional market linkages across Southern Africa. Speaking at the launch, Uganda's High Commissioner to South Africa, Ambassador Paul Amoru, noted that Southern Africa remains one of Uganda's fastest-growing tourism source markets, driven by rising demand for premium wildlife, adventure, and multi-destination travel experiences.
And a warm welcome to the official launch of the Uganda Travel Trade Roadshow Southern Africa of travel trade professionals from across Southern Africa. I thank each of you for joining us as we begin a week of engagement, exchange, and partnership building that will shape the future of our regional and continental tourism. This roadshow is a timely and strategic mission. Over the next 9 days, our delegation will visit 6 dynamic cities, including the Great Johannesburg, where we are, Durban, Cape Town, Gaborone, Windhoek, and Harare.
South Africa tour operators have always heard that Uganda is home to more than 50% of the world's remaining gorillas. They've been shocked to know that our product is beyond the mountain gorillas. Uganda has a very, very deep, varied product offering, from cultural tourism to religious tourism to adventure to the nightlife. There's so much. They were in awe of what Uganda has to offer. They couldn't believe that Uganda has much more than the gorillas. So this has been a very eye-opening platform for all of them to understand what Uganda has to offer and why Uganda is the Pearl of Africa. Uganda is the Pearl of Africa because of the depth, the range and variety of its tourism offering.
Last year, we had the maiden roadshow, and indeed we were able to track that there has been a spike in the number of visitors that are traveling from South Africa and the 5 other countries that I've mentioned. Our interest, especially knowing that South Africa is having one of the most robust tourism sectors, it receives premium visitors from around the world, from Europe and all of that. It is now critical for the industry players in Uganda and in Southern Africa to come together to discuss opportunities and start to engage in joint destination marketing. So packages will be created where the Ugandan counterparts, the South African tourism operators, will now be on a daily basis selling Uganda also as part of their package, and the counterparts in Uganda will be doing the same.
The Federation of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises has called on government through the Uganda Communications Commission to urgently address the high cost of digital devices. Executive Director John Walugembe emphasized the need for a strong policy framework, including subsidies to promote digital inclusion. Now, we thank you so much for watching. At this point, President Yoweri Museveni will have an address live from Rakitura, and we want to hand you over to the team that side live for the live broadcast of that televised address. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakona and the whole team. We hand you over to the team in Rakitura.
kandi ugira ngo bija kongeraho ahariyeze zo wabo tagambireho wamara kuvuga n'abanyamakuru icyo wakora nerizo bo wabo ryo muri mitoma suranisha bangu turi kutandika oyongere kushobora hamyo myezo izo wajya ngo zagambira abantu wamara kuvuga n'abanyamakuru mu mwazi yogo
ningata matafari nko muri nyankoro wakare ukabiro muganda konke mu bagenzi no nshuti muje kucyete